I've decided to buy a new bass guitar. Specifically, this thing. Of course, I don't really need a new bass. I already have two. But when I saw the price on this, I couldn't resist. At $39, it's the cheapest bass guitar on the internet, period. So I'm super curious, like, what does that amount of money get you? The brand is K-Texan, which is not something I've ever heard of before, but in 5 days, we should pretty much know what we're dealing with. Okay, it's purchased. So I guess I'll see you in 5 days. Guess what just arrived? Ahead of schedule. So the first thing you'll notice is that it says Glarry on the box, not K-Texan, or whatever it was supposed to be. Pretty odd. Oh wow, that is very red. I kind of like it. Also, it's short scale. That's funny, it definitely did not say that in the listing. As you can see, it also says Glarry on the headstock, whereas the photo in the listing didn't have a logo on the headstock. Otherwise, this looks pretty much the same. Oh, it's very light. It comes with this gig bag. It's super thin. You know when you buy a cheap suit and it comes with a garment bag? Yeah, that's what this is. It also comes with a cable and an equally luxurious strap. Honestly, already more than I would expect for 40 bucks. Let's try it out. Okay, moment of truth. Let's plug it in. So right off the bat, it's kind of buzzing a lot. Well, that's interesting. When I turn the volume knob up, it actually makes the buzz go down. So there might be something wrong with the grounding on this thing. Let's give it a shot. It actually feels great. There are no sharp frets. I'm really liking the short scale. The only real complaint I have with this instrument is that buzzing sound and the weirdness with the volume knob. Like, that should not be happening. I'm gonna open this up and see if I can deal with these hum issues, and then let's try to make some music. So first things first, we have to unscrew the pick guard. Actually, we don't need to do this by hand. The workmanship is definitely a little bit shoddy. Some of these screws seem to be at strange angles, and a couple of them actually spin forever, as though they're not really gripping the wood. Okay, let's see what's inside this thing. That is all. The body has just enough space for this one pickup, and that's it. Speaking of which, as a way of fixing the humming problem, I'm going to try to just replace the pickup altogether. First, I'm going to unscrew the old one. Now that that's removed, I'm going to bring in my soldering iron, which has been warming up just off camera. I'm just going to heat up these solder joints so that I can remove it. Just for comparison, this is the old pickup that we're getting rid of, and this is the new pickup that I'm replacing it with. As you can see, it has 4 pole magnets. By the way, for those playing along at home, this is the pickup. So yeah, I'm intentionally using a very, very cheap part. My goal is still to keep the price down as much as possible on this project. Installing the pickup is super simple. It's basically just the reverse of what we did to remove the old one. While I'm here, I'm also going to change out the volume knob. I've got a fresh one in my parts box, and who knows, maybe that's why it was buzzing so much earlier. With that done, we're ready to close up the body. There is still one more thing I'd like to address. The wood on the neck seems completely untreated, so I want to put some kind of varnish on the neck. For projects like this, I almost always use True Oil, which is actually meant for gun stocks. To apply it, you just wipe it on with a rag. I'm going to do a few coats, maybe like once an hour. I'm also going to sand the corners of some of the frets, just for good measure. And that's it. It's time to put the whole thing back together. I'm keeping the same factory strings on it so that we can hear the difference in the pickups, if there is any. Okay, moment of truth. not bad. For comparison, here's what the old pickup sounded like. And here are the new ones again. So yeah, they definitely have a different timbre, and the buzzing is almost completely gone. Now that we've got a functional instrument on our hands, let's talk a bit about the design of this thing. What it is a copy of the Squier Bronco bass, an instrument which sells for about $200. The Bronco is itself a stripped-down version of the Fender Music Master bass, which was introduced in 1971. If you look at this Fender catalog from back then, you can see that the Music Master looked quite a lot like the instrument in this video. As it happens, that instrument was itself a stripped-down version of an even earlier model called the Mustang bass. So yeah, these Fender short-scale bass designs have a very long legacy, and the list of famous people who have played them over the years is actually pretty astonishing. Okay, so we've fixed up this instrument, we've talked about the design, let's try to actually use it to make some music. As is my custom, I'm starting with a drum loop. Last night, I was messing around on my guitar and I came up with a verse idea. I'm going to try to play a bass line that might go with it. Next, I'm going to add some guitar chords. I generally try not to record vocals until I have a really solid backing track in place. Okay, I think we're finally ready for vocals. I'm going to add a few more layers and try to fill this out a bit more, but so far I really like this instrument. It sounds great and it's a ton of fun to play. Of course, out of the box, this thing was only about 70% of the way there. I had to put 2 or 3 hours of work into it. Not that I minded. Fixing and upgrading guitars is something I personally love doing, but it's not for everybody. Also worth mentioning, in just the week that I've been working on this video, the price on this instrument has gone up by $25. I think it may be because of the recent trade tariffs, but I'm not sure. Also, if you add in the $18 cost of a new pickup, before you know it, you're getting closer to $100. Still, I've been getting a lot of enjoyment out of mine, and I would happily pay $100 for the instrument I now have on my hands. If you're a tinkerer like me, I highly recommend it as a cheap platform for experimentation. Okay, let's talk about samples. For regular watchers of this channel, it will come as no surprise to hear that I have sampled this bass guitar. That sample library is now available for free to everyone. If you enjoy the work that I do, a great way to support this channel is by joining the Patreon. Every month you'll get an exclusive sample library, just for patrons. This month it was a steel tongue drum sample library that I'm very proud of. Also, the song from this video is called Force That Smile, and it can be found over on Bandcamp. In fact, I'll leave you now with the song's chorus. See you soon. Oh, once in a while.